Welcome to Leading with Heart, the podcast where leadership meets humanity. I'm your host, Sara Valentine, and in each episode, we'll explore how to bring heart into the way we lead, live, and love. HEART stands for hear, empathize, acknowledge, respond, and think. These 5 actions may sound simple, but when practiced consistently, they can transform the way you show up as a leader in the workplace and beyond. So, whether you're leading a team, leading a family, or simply leading yourself, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the Heart Leadership Podcast. I'm Sara Valentine, and today we're stepping into one of the most critical and most neglected parts of the HEART framework, the R. Respond. Respond with action. Respond with sincerity. Respond with care. Respond with resources when needed. Because without response, HEART is just a concept, not leadership. And here's the truth. I want to say it right out loud. Silence is a response. And more often than not, it's a damaging one. Let's talk about why responding matters and how leaders can do it well. Let's dive in. Why responding is non-negotiable in leadership. When someone comes forward with a concern, a request, a disclosure, or even an idea, they are doing something brave. They are trusting you. They are being vulnerable. They are taking a risk. And when that happens, leaders must respond. Not responding sends a very clear message. What you share doesn't matter. You don't matter. Open communication is the foundation of every healthy relationship, personal or professional. And when leaders fail to respond, communication shuts down. People stop caring, they stop trying, and they stop sharing. Responding is not optional. It is the moment where trust is either strengthened or broken. What respond actually looks like. Here's where leaders often get stuck. They think responding means having all the answers. It doesn't. Responding might look like taking action, seeking understanding, providing resources, setting boundaries, or simply being present and listening. How you respond depends on the situation, the person, the request, and the timing. But the key is this. You must acknowledge and you must follow up. Responding starts with listening, truly listening, and being ready to take the appropriate next step. Inaction, the fastest way to lose trust. Inaction is the kiss of death for trust. When leaders repeatedly fail to act, they lose credibility, engagement, productivity, and above all, trust. Because after a while, people ask themselves, why should I bother speaking up? Why should I try? Nothing ever changes. We've all had that boss, or maybe we've been that boss. The one who lets things drag, the one who promises follow up but never delivers, the one who avoids hard conversations, the one who never holds others accountable. And over time, people stop believing them. Timeliness matters. Yes, leaders are busy. We are all busy. But being busy is not an excuse for breaking trust. Even a simple response, I hear you, I need time, or I'll circle back to you, can preserve it. Silence destroys it. The reality of responding in HR. a truth-telling moment. In my line of work, there's nothing harder than sitting across from an employee who has trusted you and knowing that action may not happen. This is part of HR. This is the work HR people don't talk about enough. Employees come in expecting action. HR listens, HR documents, HR recommends. We counsel leaders on next steps. But here's the hard truth: HR cannot force leaders to act. We can advise, we can facilitate, we can escalate, but ultimately, it is 100% on the leader to respond and take actions. And when leaders don't, the trust erosion usually lands on HR. Employees feel let down. They feel exposed. They feel foolish for speaking up. And sometimes it takes multiple occurrences before anything changes. This is one of the most frustrating and heartbreaking parts of my job. People trust me when they come into my office. They trust me to act. They trust me to fix it. But the truth is, sometimes I can't. And that really, really sucks because I am passionate about helping others. And it's important to me that they trust me and believe me. So the cost of inaction is the breaking of trust. Why leaders must take ownership of the R. The R in heart belongs to leaders, not HR, not legal, not policies, leaders. When you fail to respond, your team stops trusting you. Your culture weakens. Your strongest people disengage. And your lowest performers stay unchecked. Response is where leadership becomes visible. It's where values become behavior. It's where promises turn into action. It's where people decide whether they can trust you again. How leaders can respond better. So, how do leaders respond well? Here are a few guiding principles. 1. Acknowledge quickly, even if you don't have an answer yet. 2. Be honest. If you can't do what's being asked, say so, with respect. 3. Take appropriate action, or clearly explain why action can't happen. 4. Follow through. Never make promises you don't intend to keep. And 5. Close the loop. Silence after vulnerability is harmful. Always circle back. Responding doesn't mean saying yes to everything. It means respecting the courage it took to ask. Why respond is the backbone of heart. The R may come near the end of heart, but without it, heart is hollow. You can hear, you can empathize, you can acknowledge and apologize, but if you don't respond, none of it matters. Responding is where trust lives. Responding is where culture is built. Responding is where leadership is proven. Action or intentional inaction without explanation is the only thing that sustains trust. When someone steps forward, they are offering you trust. Honor it, protect it, respond to it. Because leadership isn't about having the answers. It's about showing people they matter enough for a response. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for choosing to lead with intention. Next time, we'll move into the final letter of heart, thank, and why gratitude is the thread that holds everything together. So until then, lead with heart, and the rest will follow. Thank you so much for listening. I'm deeply grateful. My hope is that you leave inspired to lead with compassion, strength, and heart in your work, family, and faith. If today's episode encouraged you, share it with someone who could use a little heart in their day. And be sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen. Until next time, lead with heart, and the rest will follow.